FS1 composed of 6 episodes to be complied. It is a guide for us as future teacher on how to get closer to our destination. As the objectives of this field study workbook to link the theory with practice, I learned to make connection with what was taken up during classroom and what should be in actual settings. But since it's pandemic, the actual observation is limited and I need to base it on my experience when I was a student in elementary and high school. In making FS1, we can determine the characteristic of school environment. We can learn how to manage time, space, and resources to provide a learning environment that is conducive to learning. We can be able to learn the needs of learners from its different level of development, including learners' differences and interaction. We can be able to learn on how to deal with differences in gender, racial, religious background, and every student inside the classroom, and what approaches is effective for learners' different level of abilities. And most especially, we can be able to understand the influence of home environment that can be affect the students' learning. Courage and dedication is needed to become a teacher. In spite of limited access to educate a student during this pandemic, there are always a way to communicate and interact using social media. To comply the learning outcomes of each episode, especially to this activity where actual observation and interview is needed, and to answer some question related to the episode that I'm doing, there are times that I need to interview some teacher through phone call or video call because of travel restriction and protocols during this pandemic. The situation now during pandemic only proves how important and vital teachers are in learning process. They teach with patience, understanding, and compassion. They teach not just from a book but from the heart and real life experience. Dr. Miharis is our FS1 to 3 teacher. Aside of giving learning activities that can improve our knowledge to curriculum and to this field, she is also easy to approach. Every time we have something to be cleared about the instruction of the activity. She is honest about her observation towards the action of her students. She is also there to guide us on what teacher should be, and she is considerate and fair to everyone. Despite the tough activity to be submitted to her with lead time, I can say she is an example of an effective teacher because everyone reacts on each activity she's imposing.